Yeah.
CEX. It's like all year.
CEX is still around in the US.
No, but well, I think the store in Boston, the Market Street store, is still there, but CEX is a UK company. Always has been.
Oh, okay. So they stayed open, of course, in the UK, I
Yeah.
see.
Though
Yeah.
I am fully confident in saying I think the reason CEX is closed in the US is because the bedrock of everyone in corporate was insidiously corrupt and stealing money. I
Oh,
told you what
wow.
happened to the guy that canned me. I mean,
What happened to him?
I'd stolen well
He
over
got
like
caught,
10 G's falsifying
oh
the
my
what's it called?
God.
Falsifying the trade-ins. Like they would be buying in stuff like phones and giving them C grades, then
Hmm.
returning it, buying them back in as A's, and pocketing the difference. Which for some phones and things could be as high, like the difference between a C and an A could be like 200 to like 150 to $200 depending. So yeah,
Wow.
he and his key holder had been doing that for quite some time. And then they went into the basement of his former store, which was the one on Flatbush, and there was like
Hmm.
it was fucked. There was like a TV down there and a PS and I think a PS3 hooked up to it that hadn't even been bought in, and like food wrappers and random
What?
shit.
It was just
Yeah, it
sitting
was
there?
basically like it was an idiot's man cave, basically. Like for lack of a better word, it looked like the man cave of
Oh.
someone who gets a $10 allowance. It just looked bad. So between all of it, the weird corrupt stuff and
Ew.
the weird game room in the basement and just it was like, all right, so we're gonna shut all of this down. Wait, who are you? Oh, you're the district manager? Okay, wait, you're this guy's friend? Did you know about this? Yeah, okay, that's not. Yeah, alright, you're gone too. Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
Have you. You are the aimless crab. Hey! Did you go to.
Wait,
Did you
where's
go to the
the...
bunker already and get your bounties?
Mm,
The bunker
no.
is right in front of where you land when you get here. What are you doing?
Oh,
Look at this bunk.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
bunk!
gonna head to...
What's my name? Bunkachino. It's a whole new game. Bunkachino.
Oh, jeez. Hey, by the way,
You
have you
wanna
caught
grind out the
any,
horde? I'm your
part
goon.
of...
Tomorrow we're gonna be on the moon. What?
Have
Didn't think
you
I had that on
caught
podcast.
any part of Hunters?
You know I'm the improv
Oh,
master.
I believe you have plenty of things to me.
I am the improv master. I did not see hunters. Haha, I only got hit a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
You only got
Yeah.
smacked a little bit.
I have not. How is that show? I think it is executive produced by Jordan Pele. Jordan
Indeed, it
Pele.
is. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
You need to clear this beast out.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, as fun as lazy as that was, as wonderfully lazy as that was, I don't think I'll do that again. Feel like I left a bunch of mats on the
What
table.
was?
And this resource frame that gathers materials is the most butt thing I have ever encountered. I don't even know why Bungie did this. One of the perks of the bunker is like, oh, the frames, they will gather resources in the field for you every day. I tell
Mm-hmm.
you with conviction, every day that I went over to this bunker to retrieve said resources, it has been one Dusklight shard. I'm
What?
like, Bungie, what are you doing? One Dusklight shard, Rasputin's, and then, dear All of those bunker upgrades have tier 2, tier 3 upgrades. You know I cleared the bunker.
Yeah.
This is the maximum amount that the Warminds research frames can gather in the field. Man, I'm sure glad I upgraded my bunker to tier 3. I'd hate to get 0.25 of a resource shard instead. Because tier 3 is getting me 1 a day.
Damn.
Oh, God. I think maybe it's broken.
Wow.
Maybe there's a glitch. Maybe it's broken or something.
Maybe
that's
it's
the only satisfying explanation I have. Thank you. Get bent, you stupid. Oh. Overload.
Oh, that's an overload champion.
I am not using those at all. I need to change up a little bit. I think my SMG is overload. Hold on, let me see if I can. Nope, it's got Vorpal weapon on it. It has no mods.
Oh, this is overload.
Okay, that was my bad. I did not mod mine. Oh, I thought you got him. Ah.
No, he's just
The last one
teleporting.
is always like that, right? Oh wait, there's more.
Oh, right.
Oh, thanks for shooting that thing. So today I'm using the Bastion.
Oh.
I was looking
Nice.
into my vault. I realized I vaulted it a while ago. It's a nice little. I wish it were slightly more exhilarating. I don't know. I feel I think a lot of Bungie underplays this because I guess they're so good at it. But you know, a lot goes into the construction of a weapon. You know, the way it looks, the way it sounds, the way it feels to use, the animations, the reloading animations, the firing animations. You put so much into these things. You know, before we get our hands on them. And
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like even though I love the design of the Bastion, it's not exactly a visually exciting weapon. In fact, like it took me a while just using it to realize when it was firing. It seems very subdued for what it is, and that's weird because their guns are usually not like that. Like when you use the symmetry, that's an electrifying weapon, no pun intended. But the symmetry is a really, you know. I love the way it looks when you're firing it. I love the way it looks when you activate Revolution and it's firing out Arc Souls. Like, you know, it's got a lot of cool visuals attached to it. Like, I don't know. I hope maybe it'll get a masterwork that'll make it sing a little bit. Do you have anti-barrier right now, Boo Boo? Anti-barrier or anything?
No, let me equip it.
I'll spawn this heavy frame and get us some backup.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not using anything. I think I have I'm using an exotic, so that's not anti-barrier.
Here we go. Anti-barrier.
My inventory got cannibalized for some reason. And because I'm using the Bastion, I'm not using Ariana's Vow. Boop. Crap. No!
Ah, they got me.
You have rifts!
That's true, I do.
Do I have to switch back to my Warlock? Are we gonna have to have, like, Warlock stratagems popping?
No.
Because I am a beast.
So good.
I love being my Warlock right now. Like, I love the getaway artist. And I'm using the
Me
bottom
too.
tree.
It's like my
I'm using the
fave.
bottom tree so my rifts, spawn arc souls.
Mhm.
So, oh, and I'm almost entirely maxed out on. I think I think it's intellect. Yeah, intellect.
Oh, I do the
So,
same thing.
are you using the mod on your armor? Because it's definitely the best way to do it. If you use that mod first, it's kind of expensive because it takes 4 energy. So
Yeah.
you got to tweak your armor a little bit just so you can put other things on it. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know. But after a bit of tweaking and far too many shards, I was able to get a good build going because I like the little Warmind, mods that came out. If you're a warlock, a really good thing to have is if you have Monte Carlo. If you have Monte Carlo, at least one Seraph weapon on you, and either Fellwinter's Helm. Yeah, Fellwinter's Helm.
Mhm.
The Monte Carlo and those mods like Burning Cells, Cellular Suppression. Like if you look at my... Oh crap, I'm not wearing it here. Well, if you look at my other character, there's like I have at least one of those on because those little mods, whenever Warmind cells appear, if you destroy them, they cause negative status effects, or they explode, or they burn people, or... That's what the... Are you just mm-hmming me? Those are far too many mm-hms to sound like you're listening.
Well, weren't you saying how when you have Monte Carlo, you have like little things that burn people?
No, and that is why you should stop mm-hmming like that. Yes.
No.
I said you should use the Monte Carlo
Okay.
and a Seraph weapon. Seraph weapons are what spawn Warmind cells. These Rasputin weapons that we've been unlocking.
Oh.
Yeah, they make enemies drop Warmind cells, which are basically gigantic versions of the polarity charges. But you can shoot them, and when you shoot them, they explode. So the mods control what element explode, how they explode, how many explode. So, and as the warlock, the Monte Carlo, for one, will, it rewards melee energy. Or refills your melee fully on kills. And Fellwinter's Helm makes any enemy killed with an arc, void, or solar melee attack explode. So, you'll have... Yes. So, with your Dawnblade, Fellwinter's Helm, Monte Carlo, not only will enemies be exploding while they're exploding, but if you use the solar mods like Rage of the Warmind, Burning Cells, you're just basically creating bombs everywhere. Bombs between the Warmind cells and your melees and what the helmet is doing. You're just creating fireworks everywhere you go. And that is not a bad proposition when you're warlocking it. Speaking of warlocking, yeah, we're in the bunker today. Hope you enjoyed that silliness. Welcome. Welcome to the Expert Playlist, where we are doing what you should be doing. We are in the deepest bunker of Earth, locked away, safe and sound. Follow our example. If you have a Russian computer
in the
down there with you, all the better.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight on this fine Corona pandemic?
Oh God, it's too much.
I gotta hear you from the streets, because unlike me, you are in a usually bustling area, and I know, for places like, say, Brooklyn, Queens, seeing not a lot of people in the streets is like, yas, but Manhattan is always bustling. So I know there's a certain level of ambience that you've got to be used to that's just, by comparison, makes you feel like Will Smith. Fairly accurate. Are you feeling legendary right now?
Yeah, I definitely am feeling some I Am Legend
Mm.
vibes. You know, like you look outside and it's like deserted. There's literally
So it's like playing the
nobody.
Division One.
Um, yeah, the only business that seems to be seeing, some customers is well, we had the pharmacies. They gotta stay open.
Oh, do they? Like
Uh,
so, like Walgreens is open.
the Yeah, they
Okay,
gotta
well
stay
that's cool.
open.
At least they have,
Um,
you know,
yeah, 'cause
pharmacy,
yeah, the
the
pharmacies
safest
gotta
part of
stay
the store.
open. And oof, I don't know if it's the
I mean, at
safest.
least you know that they have
Um,
hand sanitizer back there. I mean,
they have hand sanitizer, but there's nowhere else to go. So there's quite a few people in
get a
there.
catapult for
Um,
every store. When it's time for somebody's prescription, just
but
launch it
you
at
know
them
what's interesting?
through a cannon, like the shirt cannons.
They have like, well, actually, interesting that you mentioned that because they have these things like right in front, like where you go to buy stuff. They have like they created like a little barricade thingy to keep you.
Getting too close to the
No,
counter.
seriously, to
I believe
keep you. Yes, you can't get
I
too
believe
close to the counter. So they have like these little barricade thingies so that you can't get more than like you. It's like 2 feet,
All right,
2 feet
all
away
right. So
from the
get this.
counter.
Um, well, I went to Stop and Shop today, or excuse me. So, Stop and Shop. I mean, of course, I went to self-service. Of course, of course. Here, as you're walking
Yeah.
out, you pass by the registers and everything. Every single register in Stop and Shop
Mhm.
has got this like 11-foot tall acrylic screen in front of the cashiers. And there's like a little sign on it that's like, for your safety and the employees, please stay completely behind this screen. It's a serious, like an 11-foot tall sheet of like acrylic or something. Giant divider.
Wow.
Like, if we're gonna be open, here's a shield. Like
Yeah.
it's a literal shield built into all of the counters. It's like good. At least they are not playing.
Yeah, no, they're not playing around. They're like, yeah, we're open, but
Stand completely behind this
keep your
screen. Yep.
distance. Yeah.
The only Coronas we want you buying from us is the beer. Alright. It's the only
Yeah.
exchange of Corona that's acceptable now.
Oh man.
What you doing down there? Equipping stuff?
I don't know, I already came out. What do you want to do?
Well, we're cleaning up.
You want to do
I figure if you've got anything that's tangentially related to the stuff out here, we can knock that out. But if not, I say we can maybe some streaks. Get some streaks.
yeah,
Going streaking.
get some strikes on.
Also, can you check your bounties because I'm gonna lose my mind if you don't unlock a Black Armory Forge. I may lose my mind. They might have shrank the quest
Um,
down too, because for my hunter, I had like they pretty much ground it down to the last step, which is you have to find a treasure chest with a weapon core in it, and then no, I'm sorry, no, sorry, you have to get a weapon core, and then you have to get like a frame, and then you gotta forge it, and that's it. Yeah,
okay.
you lucked out because it
Um,
used to be way more complicated than that. They used to break your.
so it should be my quest tab.
It's probably in your like the past quest tab. No. There's a tab entirely dedicated to the previous expansions and thingies, and it's probably there.
Quest from
Hmm.
the past. Yeah, I have something called the Spiders Competition, where I have to find a lost forge.
That's definitely not it.
Okay.
Like the forge would say something about the armory. I'm sorry, the quest would say something about the armory. Because if you have to go to a forge, you can't do the spider thing yet. Because the forge isn't even unlocked. I knew this because I did it with my junta. Like until you forge your first weapon, you can't get any of Ada's frames or go to a forge or anything. It's weird.
Oh.
Yeah, so what you gotta do?
Okay, so I don't really have anything outside of the.
You don't have the card to get to
the
Ada?
thing for spider.
Do you have the card? Have you ever talked to Ada one?
The... Yeah. So, like, what do you mean?
Have you
like,
ever unlocked a black armory
like,
forge?
I don't think.
For the love of God.
I mean, I think I've done a couple of them.
You're looking in your inventory as we speak. What are you doing? You either did it or you didn't.
Well, okay, so the only thing I have for the black armory is this spiders competition.
What does Spider's competition say?
The only thing I have. It says, the scan of Skivrik's black armory crates revealed the true origin of the tainted gear. A second black armory forge. Explore an uncharted location on Nessus and locate the lost forge.
Why does that sound like the quest for the... What's it called? What was it? You had to get the jerky and then you had to do something else.
The jerky?
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be mad when I look through your inventory and find the quest sitting there. I'm gonna be mad at you.
There's no quest.
How can you
Hold
have
on,
not
let me try one more
unlocked the
time.
forge yet, but you have nothing? You have no quest relating to the black armory, even though you have never unlocked the forge. That's weird. I mean, I was playing as my hunter, and I saw the quest just sitting in my. I was just sitting there.
Well, I mean, I don't have a quest for it. I think I can just go to the forge. Let me check.
You can't just go to. Do you not just hear? I mean,
yeah. Here's the spiders competition.
All right.
There's a bunch of.
Let me look at my warlock because I have not done that quest yet with my warlock at all. I know that. Nascent Dawn.
Okay.
A quest called All Right. That's funny. It's a Gambit quest.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I don't get it. Oh no, I'm holding a frame. I'm already holding a weapon frame. That's like the second to last step.
Oh, okay.
Well, while we go over that, I am going to pick the so you got all your public event stuff out? You good on that? All right.
Yeah.
Quest out
Mhm.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Want to do some more
Yep.
deals, or the other one? Regular ones will get you an engram, a little bit easier to do. I prefer the ordeal because cores
Yeah.
and prisms.
Let's do the ordeal.
It's an ordeal, you know. I know you think they're being facetious, but
So I hear.
okay. So we have got Hot Knife. Shanks have solar shields. Overload and barrier. And Thavix's implant. That sounds so gross. It's arc damage is increased. That does sound gross.
Okay.
What? Don't look at me like that. Thavix's implant. That sounds like an exotic spear or something. Actually, I would vote spears as the next melee weapon if they ever wanted to do another one. That should be the warlocks. I'm still fairly disturbed about that.
About
The fact that hunters have a special sword that makes them run funny and has all these cool attacks. Titans have a literal broadsword that they run with in one hand. And then warlocks are just like, I got the default animations. It's like, how do the warlocks
Yeah,
not have an
that's true.
unnecessarily stylish, weird curved blade that they do attacks with? You know, like they do pokes. I would expect the warlock to do something like maybe pokes or sweeps, or you know, it's weird that
Hmm.
I don't know. Like you would have thought if they didn't have enough time to do it before launch, it would have came later. But they just didn't. Nah, warlocks just got the butt cheek. I mean, I don't know. You've been a warlock for going on 5 years now. What would you do? Like, what do you feel a warlock would do with a cool melee weapon just only theirs?
Hmm. I think like a cool. Actually, if I'm being honest, I feel like the javelin should have
See,
been a thing that warlocks did.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just feels right. You know, it's a tactical weapon. It's a mid to close range weapon, so it fits in with the whole warlocks being strategic with their attacks motif.
Mhm.
Also,
Mhm.
they do
Mhm.
magic, so it could double as a staff.
Yeah. You can be
Oh
like
my goodness.
Gandalf.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why are we thinking of these things? Noseworthy! Get on this now! That's it. That's it. Anytime something gameplay related happens, going after Noseworthy. We have officially created our second meme. Luke Smith. Still not. Don't think that puts
Noseworthy.
you off the hook, Luke Smith. We're still coming after you, Luke, you are making your constituents very unhappy. Apparently, now I am a
Mm.
very. Oh God, arc damage is gonna increase. I feel like you should know better. I'm sorry. What did you do? Did you really jump on a pipe?
I got her. I got
Doesn't
GTA.
everybody get GTA'd when they try to drive through this place?
We'll find them.
I feel like it's been like that since
Yeah.
launch. Every time I try to drive anything down this hill, something kills you. Even in the regular forget the nightfall. Even in the regular version, I'm terrified of driving through this place. I mean, El Chef Mole, or is that Mole? He is fearless. Clearly, he was born in the Ark and molded by it. So we merely adopted the Ark.
Nearly adopted the ark. We did not leave the ark until he was already a
And by
guardian.
then, he was electrocuted. It
Yeah.
fits in line with the with the line. I never thought of that. I was a man, and by then it was blinding. Just little, God, little parts of his pronunciation that I just love. Yeah, just
Yeah.
certain words get this unusual amount of emphasis and eccentric, like,
See.
phoneticism.
The fallen went that way.
Mhm.
Now is not the time for fear. It comes late. Love it. Are we still gonna have
I haven't watched that movie in a
Well,
long
remember we were
time.
gonna have like a mini bat marathon. I said I was gonna get the high def version.
Yes.
We were gonna watch them and talk themes and characters and stuff of that nature. Because I've been so fascinated with the movies
I
lately.
am I am very much into that. We need to do that.
Yeah. it's it's really something to
Maybe.
watch these movies, with a knowledge of film. It was the first
Mhm.
time I saw them. I was watching them as superhero movies, straight out of high school.
Oh wow, I died. We
Well,
right.
maybe not straight out of high school.
Amazing.
Maybe straight into college. Yeah, there we go. When was Begins?
Mhm.
06? 08? No, Begins was 06. Yes, Begins
Begins was
Begins
like
was 06
06.
because I remember Iron Man came out the same year as The Dark Knight.
Yeah, so Dark Knight was like
8.
2008. Yeah. Operation
Oh
Pickup.
no. No. Are you kidding? Operation Didgeridoo. On the last episode. The more you know, but might not have wanted to. Okay, I think I'm gonna unequip Bastion because this is woefully inadequate. I thought I could do this. I cannot. This weapon is it's fun to use, but I feel like I don't know how to classify this weird thing.
One more set of
How did you
coordinates.
feel about the Bastion?
Fallen can't be far.
I couldn't really use it. It was like, what's going on here? I didn't really understand
I'm gonna.
what I
I'm-
was supposed
get
to
you.
do
I'll be
with
right
it.
It's I don't know. You know, to me, it feels like a fusion rifle shotgun. Get away from her, you boots! Boots. I'm sorry.
Oh god, you just discarded
I was waiting.
him.
I was waiting for that. It was worth the wait. All right. Hola, boots. All right, I'm done. No, I'm not done yet. Oh. Okay. So, yeah, I just it feels like a fusion rifle melded with a shotgun because it's definitely not a long-range weapon.
Yeah.
Bonk. And even at mid-range, it kind of falls apart, like because all the little slugs in it have to hit in order for it to be effective, and it punches through shields really nicely. But I don't know. It's like it's basically a Lord of Wolves.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like that's the best way I can classify it. It's like a Corridors of Time version of the Lord of Wolves. It's really
Interesting.
powerful, yeah, but I can't find like a really good use for it. I mean, in Crucible, it's just annoying. It seems like it just comes out of nowhere. A dead orbit cloak. Yes. Dad, you shouldn't have. You know, if this guy would just stop for 5 seconds, stop. Chill, bro. At least it's not match game. That would have been
Yeah,
annoying.
that's true.
Overload?
Overload.
Yeah,
You have an
yeah.
overload weapon? Nice.
Look at this, one hand. He runs with it one-handed. Why are Titans so cool?
If they need nerfs.
Call me when you're done creating Arc Souls and Healing Rifts that produce more Arc Souls for you and your teammates. And no, I'm not even gonna. I average like 30 kills in every Crucible game when I'm playing as my Warlock. That is ridiculous. Half of those kills aren't even mine. They're Arc Souls. You have Arc Souls.
Our souls have the
How about
gem.
that Well of
And
Radiance,
the
though?
escape artist can skip.
You what? You could do Arc Soul with the Chaos
The
Reach.
Will of Radiance.
Yeah. Like when you pick the other Arc Super, the one with the Hadouken in it, the Kamehameha one, you
Oh,
can use
yeah,
the
yeah.
Getaway Artist to make Arc Souls while you're doing that, even though it's not in the skill tree. Like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Telling me a Titans need nerfs. Titans need nerfs. You know, when people were in the last Wish raid, when people were skipping huge chunks of the raid, you know, it was the easiest
Yeah.
class to do it with.
Warlock.
Precisely. Precisely.
I'll be right back.
Am I?
That is Exodus
Am I
10.
wearing the
You
gauntlet?
care about
Oh
ghosts.
no, I'm not.
Keep arc induction away from that
Wait, did
machine.
he say keep arc induction away from the
Please
machine?
care about ghosts.
Oops. Sorry.
Yep. That's what he said. Now there's an overload champion.
I'm not good at
right
following
over there.
directions then. Oh yeah, there's a solar. Oh god! There's a really cool artifact I was gonna pick. Oh,
Ow, ow,
I forgot.
This really stings.
I was
Oh,
looking at the
whoops.
artifacts.
Scary
There is a
inside
very
the
cool
backpack.
perk on the artifact. Oh,
Guardian
for the
down.
love of God, you people! There's a really cool mod on the artifact that when you use an arc grenade, it provides increased arc grenade recharge right after you throw it, and killing enemies increases the recharge. So I'm thinking
Which one?
it's on the artifact.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking Arc Titans and Arc Soul wielding Warlocks, if it does what I think it does, are going to have a field day. But it says thrown grenades. Now, I don't know if that's a loophole, so I'm going to have to test it out. Like with consuming one for an Arc Soul. And if you still get the increased recovery when you make Arc Souls, oh Lord Jesus. Be swimming in Arc Souls, boo. Imagine that. You make an Arc Soul, increased recharge. Just Arc Souls all day. And Titans on their
Our souls all day.
and
every
Titans
day.
when they do Fists of Havoc, they get two grenades without needing to wear the armamentarium. Shit. I see that. I don't think I'll be able to do anything about this. Fuck. They're killing me. And I'm dead. Wow, that was really silly of me, I guess. Alright. My bad.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
I see you.
Okay, so I really need a...
Guardian down.
Ah, crap.
Thank you. What is that champion? Is he Overload? Or Barrier?
The
No,
barrier.
he's over. The one that's on top of you is Overload.
Oh yeah, the one on the far side is.
Alright, I'll take out the barrier. I just got it, Ariana's Vow out, but shit. I seem to have a slight loadout deficiency. I don't have any primaries with anti-barrier.
I have a barrier. Here we go. We're gonna get rid of this one right now. All right, so the one back there's down.
Alright.
And that one. All right, so you have overload,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! That was a good grenade. It got stuck right on the tree. Let's go. I was aiming for that tree. I was saving that bacon.
Guardian down.
Ah, crap. Teleported right behind me.
I got you. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was wrong.
uh,
That was just that was just disrespectful, actually.
disrespect.
Those startup frames.
Oh
Why?
no!
Why? Why? You make
I was,
rifts. Why? Why?
I was
Why?
going to bring you back.
The six enemies were teabagging me. What? All right. We're gonna have a warlock day, dear. We're gonna have to embed. We're going to have to ingrain the making of the rifts.
I make
You do not make enough rifts, I don't think. I think you make rifts, but I think in critical moments when the rift will aid you at the most, I do not think you pull out the rifts in those moments. What? It's a fun rhythm. It's a fun rhythm. You don't want to have a warlock day? You don't want to go over. You don't want to go over stratagems with me as other characters? Why do you sound so not down?
I am down.
You were down. That's why you went.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you're down. That sounds like you're actually down, like not the slang down.
Oh. Oh. That sounds fun. I'm into that.
Hey. I am nothing if not a fun teacher. You know I got all 3 classes. And you know I've been using them lately, so I found out all sorts of new things. So much fun.
Indeed.
Oh god. I dismantled a god roll today.
What? Why?
Well, so get this. I have been like angling for a god roll for the longest time. Ever since I got that god roll hammerhead from the Black Armory. I've been trying to do the same thing with the bow. The Spiteful Fang. Yeah, I really, because it's like my favorite primary, etc., etc. So, I do it every so often. And it finally happened. I got a god roll of the Spiteful Fang.
Unscanned. Get me to that machine.
It is exactly the same as my masterworked one.
Stay close.
Same perks, same masterwork, everything. It's exactly the same.
This device
So,
looks like an old arc energy.
there's a
Yeah, that could hurt.
there's a shader called Berjusian Knight though that came on the god roll. I saw it when I got the hammerhead. It's just cool. It's like this translucent purple that like animates. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
But you know, all right, if you've ever seen a special shader like that, having the weapon does not unlock the shader. The only way you can get the shader is if you break the weapon down. And I wasn't about to break and I was not about to break down that hammerhead when I got it. So happy as I was to finally get the god roll of that arrow, I was even happier because it was the exact replica of mine anyway. So I broke it down and took the shader. Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy.
Hey! I got seven cores.
I'm cheap. Just when I watched the world.
I'd already made the god roll. 430 something crucible kills ago. It's like, yes, now I get to have the Berjusian Knight shader. I think I'm gonna clad the hunter head to toe in it. I think I'm gonna make just like the whole. It's gonna be purple and dark. You gonna be darkness. Darkness will spread. Berjusian darkness will spread. Twin brother darkness. Okay, I overshot. Oh wait, it's still hitting him. That's a mean amount of range. I mean. But yeah, how's your speaking of artifacts and perks and arc and How has your artifact been doing? You
It's
like
doing
any new
okay.
perks?
I have all. I do. They're pretty
You have
cool.
all?
I have all of the first row because I felt those were the most useful.
All of the first row? Wow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Indeed.
Ow. Can I get a hand? Thanks. I can't imagine the pain you go through.
No, you cannot, Ghost. Why am I floating in midair like this? That's weird. Alright, I died out there. Be careful. If your health gets low... God damn it.
Why?
This is the blueberryest thing I've ever done. I have never died this much in Nightfall the Ordeal before. What is going on with you two? That's not a real answer.
I don't know.
Stop going.
There's a lot of arc out there.
There is. You have rifts. I'm gonna bite you. Are you using either the Stormcaller's Brace or the Crown of Tempest?
I'm using the Escape Artist.
Oh. Okay. No, that's cool. It's, I mean, Arc Souls, you know?
Yeah, Arc Souls.
If, dear, if you have the Risk Runner, that's the perfect room to use it in because of all the arc damage.
I've been using it.
Symmetry?
Symmetry.
I really like that gun now. It finally grew on me.
I like the symmetry.
It finally grew on me.
I like that.
I didn't really like it at first. I didn't like it until I figured out how Revolution worked. And I realized it's incredibly stable.
It is very stable. That's kind of what I like about it. It's like my favorite Crucible weapon.
I gave my hunter and what was it? Oh, I gave the hunter the the Polaris Lance, which I haven't used in forever. Man, that weapon is so good. I really like the Polaris Lance, especially that perk where you know you have to you get like 4 headshots and it plants a bomb on them. I have no heavy ammo.
Stay close. I'll have those
Okay,
barriers
so
down soon.
let's look at the left, the right.
There's an
I see him.
overload
Floor looks like some kind of
champion on
arc.
the
He should be dropping
left.
soon. There we go.
Probably
No.
best to keep arc energy away.
He's still not dropping, man. I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog. I'm talking to him. I'm talking to him. That's gonna hurt.
Shank on the web. Shank on the web. Thanks.
Y'all need to take advantage of this back hallway. If it gets too hairy out there, just get to the steps. The way we came in. Yeah, if it gets too hairy out there, just check the steps. Because that's the
Okay.
one place that we won't be flanked from the sides at the back. There is no shame in backing into the stairway. No shame. Yo, I keep getting fooled. Stop falling to one knee like that and then getting back up, you cretins. Thank you, dear.
Alright.
Alright, we can get this room. This is fine. Let's take out, I say
Yeah.
one at a time. I'm going to focus on the Shank Servitor on the left. If you want to do that one, I'm going to look at him first.
Yeah.
And we got to keep the Shanks well away from the platform. Easier said than done, I know.
Yeah.
Yep, there they are.
There's this freaking servitor. Alright, so I'm focused on
Yeah,
the left.
likewise, likewise. I tried to kill all the Shanks, but only one of them came out. Boop. Damn it. Oh, got stuck on the side. Damn it. Oh, it's working. Hey. Yeah. All right, all right.
All right.
That's
That one.
Overloads are in the middle, crabbing it. What the fuck? Be careful, be careful. Go into the stairway if you have to. Excellent. Very nice, very nice, very nice. 7 seconds for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, god damn it. And there's nothing but overload out there. I'm just gonna switch my
Paul
weapon.
Tassie's like, hey, man, so is Hard Light just going to dominate this game until Bungie nerfs it?
Mm-hmm.
You a lot. I need a real reaction. All that's a lot of information in one sentence.
Oh wait, who said
He's
that
asking.
Hard Light's gonna dominate?
No,
this
see, that's
game?
not what he said. He's asking how long is it going to dominate the game before Bungie nerfs it. Like, you know, there was, with Season of the Worthy, there's a buff to auto rifles, which is why you've been seeing Suroses and all sorts of stuff being used now where they weren't before. Yeah, auto rifles got a buff. They got a nice little damage buff, nice little range buff, etc. So now, you know, guns like the Hard Light are beastly now. And there's been a lot of Hard Light in the Crucible, if you've seen. And this week's Iron Banner.
Yes, I
So,
have.
you know, if people have it, they're gonna be running around with it. Well, yeah, it was a good weapon before. It just had inexplicable quirks that just made a bad weapon to use. Which was the way your screen used to shake when using the damn thing. That was a huge problem. The way, because it was contradictory to the fact that that weapon's masterwork gives it like max stability. It's like, all right, the gun has stability, but when you fire it, your screen vibrates like you're trying to hold on to a. Well, I don't know. Like you're trying to hold on to something.
Yeah.
Okay. But the update not only buffed auto rifles, but it fixed that. So now the screen is completely still for the most accurate auto rifle in the game that has no damage fall off because it shoots lasers.
Those shanks were using your
Wow.
as arc
So it's a pretty powerful gun. Oh, and when Hard Light's bullets ricochet off of surfaces, it increases the damage. So if you've ever wondered why you got killed by a Hard Light so quickly, because bouncing it off the walls. So
Oh, yes, I noticed
So I think that's a pretty valid question. I mean, I would
Yeah.
hate for Bungie to nerf it. I think you should allow for just a little bit of brokenness. Just a little bit, Let people have fun with their exotics. Just break it a little. You know, if it's broken, whatever. I wish they could take the Street Fighter route, really. Where
Yeah, and just let people
well,
figure it
that
out.
and you know, Yoshinari Ono's philosophy really is, okay, so if you have a character that has something broken or you have a character that's too powerful, yes, one, let it exist in the meta so people can figure out how to deal with it. But two, instead of nerfing that character, just make the other characters more powerful. Like F nerfs. If the problem with nerfs is that one person is getting too powerful, then just raise everybody else's power to meet it. I kind of like that philosophy. Because I mean, I feel
too.
like inherently, the power fantasy is power creep and power satisfaction. I think I think something like that exists in every game, just to varying degrees. For Street Fighter, it definitely ties into the skill ceiling, where your satisfaction, like your power increase, really is inherent. You know, you get better at the game, you just understand it more, play it a different way, you have more fun because you're more functional. You know, Shooting games is it's a little bit less tangible, but it's more down to the balance of the game itself. But I mean, if you gave me
Failsafe was just being fidgety.
like
Kindly delete yourself.
that's funny. All right, sorry. If you gave me like say the hard light and it was bouncing around corners and killing people really fast, well then, don't nerf the hard light though. You know, make Suros better. Make make Sweet Business more of a beast. I feel like as an exotic, they should look and feel exotic, even if that means a little bit of unbalance here and there. It should be something you should do. Like I'm pretty sure somebody asked at some point with the getaway artist, like, well, all right, should we really let the Rift like recharge the sentient Arc Soul? Is that a bit much? Because the sentient Arc Soul is out for 20 seconds, and it does more damage, and it shoots more Seekers, and its seeking is better. That's a huge thing, and definitely a consideration I would have made. Like, I don't know. But somebody, a very wise person, said yes. And I can see that reasoning. It's like, well, that's just design consistency. You know, you don't want to say, oh, well, this Rift creates Arc Souls, and it rebuffs your Arc Soul every time you step into it. So it naturally just makes sense. Of course, your sentient Arc Soul recharges its timer when you step in a Rift. But that, I mean, what could have been a potential balance issue, and I still to some degree feel like it's extremely silly. And I love it. I like that the immediate approach wasn't, hey, all right, we got to nerf this, or we can't allow it to do this. They're like, no, let it do it. I don't care. And it makes hey, it just makes me use the getaway artist that much more because it doesn't contradict the game's rules, and it makes the gauntlet feel cool and powerful. I believe you people. We have died so much.
You know?
No! Look at this. We don't even have a score anymore at this point. We took some.
Yeah.
Ah, you creatures. Okay. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Whole lot of nope.
No.
Twin brother nope. No, there's just a lot of arc. There's just a lot of arc damage going on in this room right now, and I'm trying to manage it.
Guardian, down.
Ah! They got me
Where are you? I see.
there. At the bottom of the stairs.
Ever seen anybody land in full shoulder stance before?
No, I have not.
That's how you get the fast revive.
That one's pretty
That's how you get
near.
the fast revives, okay? Don't tell anyone. Trade secret. Boop! He is just like a Slurpee just eating that grenade. Get out of here. There's a giant shank floating up further than I've ever seen that giant shank float up before, so just be careful if you're heading up. There's just a giant shank hiding at the top of this area. Never seen it. Never seen that happen. Shite. Oh, they're beating on me! Help me, please! Where are you two?
Oh no! Down by one of these platforms.
Oh. What up? Oops.
Hello.
I'm gonna jump over there and scare him. Oh, I think he got away. Look at that. He left.
Okay.
Like a Pokemon.
Did he? Oh,
Like a
he got
Pokemon,
away.
they just...
Oh, is that
It
what I
was.
wanted anime?
That's why it lasted that long. Usually, we the shank is the first thing to go.
Oh
You levitate off the
no!
flow. You gots to go. What happened?
I supered and then I fell. Wasted super.
I'm sorry, boo. Ow!
There should definitely be more float in my cloak.
More float in your cloak.
Yeah.
I've never heard that catchphrase. Are you tired of not having
Well,
enough float
yeah.
in your cloak? Turn it down.
I remember this.
Yeah, man. Exodus. Oh, I got trapped up here. No, shoulders. Exodus Black.
I don't think we're alone. What was that?
Oh, God. I forgot to point that out. Damn it.
Point what out?
That deer, the Exodus Black is fucking... The Exodus Black is huge. Like, you are
Yeah.
running alongside pieces of this giant ship. Its wreckage spans like 2-3 areas of Nessus. I had no idea that it was...
Yes.
Wait. I feel like I said this. I did, but it wasn't on stream. Alright, whatever. I don't care if it took me 2.5 years to realize it. Whatever. Yes, I only just realized that the majority of the Nessus map is covered in the Exodus Black. That all of that debris and rubble and
yeah.
shielding and... It's the ship!
Ah.
And that failsafe is just in the aft. But, like, the butt of that thing is, like, 2 areas away. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Oh,
Y'all need
no.
to chill. Y'all need to chill. I have the most kills, so I will... I reserve right to admonish. Anybody want to do, like, a fist bump?
Oh, you reserved the right.
Before we... You want... Okay. All right. So we could, like, bump shoulders for a second, like, for good luck. I feel like Bungie, I need to ask Bungie, what happened to all of the dance? What happened to all the dances, like the popular dances, and the what happened to them? I
Yeah.
feel like
Did you hear that?
I think I almost assume that they took them out of the loot pools after the controversy. After a bunch of opportunists
Yeah.
tried to sue
Or
the
people
world
wanted to, like...
for their dances. Yeah.
But wasn't the rumor that, like, Bungie asked people?
I mean, that's what people wanted to say. I don't know whether they did or not, and I don't think they did. Because, I mean, seeing dances in video games is not something that's unusual to me. Like I said, I mean, Saints Row, in the character creator of Saints Row alone, it's like almost every single emote is a popular dance of some sort. Shit, you can do Ric Flair's Nature Boy
Yeah.
walk in Saints Row. So seeing stuff like and the Carlton has been in more games. So to see it in Destiny didn't really do anything to me, which is why I was like, y'all people are some opportunistic crab asses, because you've only just discovered that games that allow you to create your own character usually have a suite of like little popular dances and jigs in them. Like, you just discovered this. Alfonso Ribeiro to me was the most offensive one, because I'm like, shit, I've been seeing the Carlton in video games since the 90s. But Fortnite is popular, so... But Fortnite is popular. Like, that seemed to be the only reason he said
Yeah.
anything at all. Which is why I put that clip on Twitter of me just doing the Carlton. Like, I was like, yo, Carlton. Alfonso. Where was this energy when I was doing this in Destiny? I really like that
Yeah.
turn of phrase, too. Where was your energy then? Where was all this energy when I played Tom Jones and did your dance and recorded it and put it on the internet? I recorded this back in 2015. Where were you? And besides, this is how memes spread. People want to act like you don't know how memes work. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Do you know how many baseball caps were tossed into the stratosphere because of Bobby Shmurda? Mr. Robert of the Shmurda himself? Clearly, you've never seen the video for Hot Boy. I mean, you know what? Let's just stop putting that word and stuff.
I have never seen it. Nope.
Well, dear, legend has it that the hat that Bobby Shmurda tossed into the air before he did his dance in the video, and see the thing is, I don't think the hat ever came back down, because when you watch the video, he throws the hat up, but it does not fall anywhere. So we are all under the impression that to this day, that cap is still circling the. It's in orbit.
Oh my God! What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all you have to do is just look back at the history of things, and you find a lot of good cases for allowing memetics to exist as memetics. I'm like, you people, I know you were trying to. I know. And I hate the way it was disingenuously portrayed as like a cultural thing. When it's like, come on, man, you just want a payday. Don't try and frame this as Epic is culturally appropriating the creative output of African Americans. Like, the lawyer really tried to position it that way. Like, this was like some kind of form of, like, the gaming industry was doing a form of cultural appropriation by putting the dances in the game. And it's like, dude, do you know how dances, do you know how viral dances spread? Like, when you see viral dances, like when we had a viral dance period in hip hop and everybody was doing the crank that and the shoot dance and the like JB Swoop knew. Like, come on. This is how these things spread. Excuse me. Dances are nothing more than, I mean, like, popular dances are physically performed memetics. Let's be real. Let's be real. I've seen some of the dances used to express a feeling, used to express a mood. They spread in the same way. Videos on YouTube. People do dance tutorials so they can learn the moves. But come on, people. If it was a dancing game, that would be one thing. But as like just a tangential part of this otherwise, you know. I mean, why? They absolutely have the right to exist. They're consumable. They're memetic. Only an entire routine really can be copyrighted. Infamously, Michael Jackson, a couple of our like copyrighted an entire routine. Janet Jackson, you know, it's understandable, but like a single move, and besides,
that doesn't really make sense to me.
Oh, fuck. I really like the way Epic and
no. Ugh. Come on. I feel like I worked hard for that.
Y'all are some crabs. Y'all are some crabs. We'll get it this time. Yes, I'm blaming everyone, including me. Yeah, I thought that the way they named the dance, little hint they gave, you would try to make the argument. Oh, I think one of the arguments they made was like, oh, since your access point was Fortnite, you would think it came from Fortnite,
Mhm.
and they would instead know it as a Fortnite dance. And I'm like, that's absolutely a foregone conclusion. I can see your point. And while initially, yes, absolutely, the impression is that it's a Fortnite dance, it will always eventually lead back to the source. If you are interested in what it is, it will lead back to the source every time. Even if you don't directly credit the, like, it will. And then you will have made yourself a fan. I said that about the, what's it called? The Coincidence, for example. I didn't know what that was.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know it was a real thing until I was looking for a GIF of it. I wanted to make fun of it. And then the music video popped up, and I'm like, what? And suddenly, I knew the artist. I knew the artist. I knew the real name of the dance. All of that came from me just seeing it in Destiny. So to say that if you see it in the game, that you're going to accredit the game with its invention, is kind of false.
Guardian, down.
Oh my god, what the hell? Yes, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
I discovered the artist who made that song because of Destiny. And I definitely would never have heard of it otherwise.
Yeah, definitely not in my sphere. I would not have come across that otherwise.
I feel like that alone makes a great case for things like this. Even though gaming isn't, yes, it's a very profitable medium. Profitable industry. There's a lot of money in said industry. But to say that, you know, you can't carry over things from popular culture into it, I feel like you would just be limiting really Jesus, fuck. Stay safe out there. I got snuck up on by a shank. But to say that they can't have the same cultural resonance just because they're in a game, I feel like only somebody who does not play video games would say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we used to say the same things about YouTube. Back when it was just cat videos and random memes.
Yeah.
And now it's practically
Yeah.
television for an entire generation of people.
Yeah, true.
It's where people get their information. It's where people do research. Shit, some of the documentaries on YouTube are fantastic. And not even like, oh, they're made by... I'm talking about like the documentaries that are also made by like people. Not even just the really high production value ones. There's some really good, you know, there's some great information that can be consumed on YouTube. I think Jordan Peterson at one point might have said it best. He realized, you know, like he went viral the first time he did because someone had recorded some part of his lecture and put it online. And it's something that made him start his own channel because when you think about it, you would have a lecture on campus or you would have a lecture in a classroom. It would reach that classroom pretty much, you know, off the cuff. It would reach your students in that moment. He's like, you know, but with the internet and like recording a lecture, putting it on YouTube, it's reaching a far wider audience than it ever would have otherwise. And I mean, you're not paying an exorbitant fee to experience the information in that lecture.
Yeah, true.
So even for something like a college lecture, something for, you know, information-based or even education-based, what YouTube represents could be huge. Oh God, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna log in as you when you sign off and fix your armor.
You're gonna
I swear,
fix my
there is
armor,
no
okay.
reason you should be dying like this. This is not good. It should never
Wait,
take
I
40
need to do
minutes to
something
beat a
about this.
nightfall. insanity. Yeah, but yeah. I thought that was very interesting and very true. You know, I wonder how many amazing Dead Poet Society level lectures we have missed out on before the proliferation of the
Did you
internet.
hear that?
But now that it exists and it's out there. I think. Oh, and sorry, that was the second thing he said. You know, with the things like the documentaries, things like the lectures, it's almost like genuine, and I totally agree with this. Like genuine, on the field journalism in its own way has kind of had a resurgence through YouTube. Like actual journalism
Interesting.
with information sourced from real places, and yeah. Because on YouTube, I mean, for the most part, it's always been this way, but it's more obvious now. That, you know, a lot of network-based news reporting can have a bias, can have an agenda, can have a messaging.
Yeah.
No, that's not new. But it also was previously primarily the way we got our information.
Yeah.
With so many independent sources, and so many independent sources with no ties to anyone else who actually curate, the ones who make the effort, curate and produce their own material, it is, yeah, in its own way, you know, like guerrilla journalism has kind of digitally made a resurgence. Because a lot of these people do the same things. They interview people, they cite their sources, they get the information, they do their sizzle quotes. You know, a lot of that is, and it is journalism, I gotta say. And as video editing software and technology becomes more accessible and open, the production values of even the smallest projects are gradually, you know, increasing and getting up there. I told you I watched a great documentary on Theranos on YouTube. It was like 30 minutes long, but wow. That person went in, and I did not feel any different than I did when I watched them on Netflix. Like, it did not feel lacking in any way. It felt just as informative.
Wow.
It felt just, yeah, it was. And I love that, you know, more often than not, when I watch something, I mean, for now, right? I watch something on YouTube. It's made by a person, you know, a human.
Yeah, that's
Human
true.
with no, you know, no ad space to lose. Well, given what YouTube has become.
I mean, they
yeah,
could have.
The spirit of the website is fighting. It feels like an uphill battle, but the
Yeah.
spirit of the website is kind of fighting for itself.
Guardian down.
It's just, I know the people in charge, I know their immediate priority is like, hey, you know, YouTube has to make money. Like, I get that. I do. I wish turning it into corporate tube was not the solution, but I think that just puts the onus on creators, however unfair, to just keep creating superior content. Because at the end of the day, even if YouTube doesn't want to stick ads on everybody's stuff, the people will go where the views are.
Right.
And they're popping, I gotta say. You're doing good. Let's watch out for these shizanks. These middle shanks. Middle shank doo 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 doo.
Oh god.
This is the part that usually gets us. Let's be careful with the outer rings. I'm gonna try and take out some of these shanks so that we'll have somewhere to run should we need to bail.
Guardian down.
Ah.
Where are you?
God damn it. In the middle.
Alright, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready. Okay, don't let me know when you're ready. Play.
Oh.
The servitor is powering up everything. You know?
Yeah, it's this servitor right here.
Shit. They're getting me.
Alright.
Whew. Okay. This is good. Somebody at Bungie has a messed up sense of humor. It's the perfect place to put Ark.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what happened? They heard we were
okay.
shoulder checking Nightfall the Ordeal constantly. And then Bungie said, "Are we a joke?"
Yep.
Watch it, dude. There's invisible things. Not today, Satan. Nope. Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
I got 3
Shit.
seconds.
Whoa!
Alright.
Why are these shanks everywhere?
He's like right on top of my face. Yeah, there's like a huge amount of them.
I have so little. Oh my
Okay,
god.
that cost me my
It
life,
was worth it.
but it worked out.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
As well as a
Wow.
AI can when her crew has died. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I keep forgetting what the real name of that song is, but it's from the Shooting Stars meme.
Mm. Oh, is it from the working as intended thing?
That is absolutely Joker's weird permutation of the Shooting Stars meme. Yes, that is definitely a slight evolution of the Shooting Stars meme. At least it's why he's using
okay.
that song to do it.
Working as
His working as
intended.
intended meme. Man, have you seen his recent videos?
No.
Going off the butt. He has been very vocal.
That's what he does.
But you know, I guess
goes off.
Worthy has been giving him reason to be really vocal. Because this seems to be like I am largely out of touch with it, unfortunately. And I do say unfortunately because I wish I could feel as strongly as I mean, I guess maybe I need to immerse myself a little bit more. I wish I could feel as strongly as the others. I can see their points. Absolutely. I don't feel terribly strongly though. I don't know.
Interesting. You don't feel it as strongly, you say?
Yeah, that you know, that others seem to about Season of the Worthy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like story-wise, it's not as. I feel like story-wise, it's lacking that sense of urgency and immediacy that other seasons did when they initially presented their stories. Like, you know, Season of the... Hey, you want to play some Scorched? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I felt Season of the Undying definitely had a hook because it related to the Vex, the Black Garden. You know, that's a very strong story element that tied into Shadowkeep. So to go from Shadowkeep to Season of the Worthy definitely felt... I'm sorry, Season of the Undying definitely felt like a progression of the story, a slight evolution, kind of like the post-credit scene to Shadowkeep, if you will. But and of course, Season of the Dawn was very, very, very strong story-wise. One of my favorite, definitely the best season for me so far. And you know, any progression of the story bringing back a legendary character they've been talking about since the original game, and I think they did it in a great way. That's fine. But I feel like the story in this one does not have the same sense of immediacy or relation or urgency as the previous ones. And on top of that, it doesn't feel like a theme that's being run through everything you do. That's my biggest that's the biggest issue I see with it, but apparently like people are just they're I think they're not really into the towers and the bunkers and the just like the upgrading the bunkers.
Well, it is a little bit grindy, but it's not.
It's pretty, yeah. I mean, a little bit grindy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of grindy. So I get why people aren't not necessarily super.
And the way it's
into that.
designed, it's like it's kind of a toss-up. Like if you have a good team, you'll make it. But then there's always those times where you make it right to 86. And then the other towers don't come out, and you're like,
my
ah!
God, yes. Oh my God, I hate
It's almost done, and then fart.
And then it's like, we're at 86%.
And then,
Yes.
like to see, to hear one person describe it. They said, "What the heck? Did your game?"
Did we get kicked
Okay,
out?
good. So it's happening to you too.
I'm
Okay,
just looking
good.
at a black
No. I
screen
thought the
right
game
now.
broke, or I
Yeah.
got disconnected, or I got
Oh,
weaseled.
here.
All right, good. Oh, so what was I saying? I was saying something. Silly crab. All right. Let me see if I can remember that.
I think you were saying something. Oh, what were you saying? Oh, you were saying about people don't when you get to 86% and
Nah, after that. Oh,
after that.
I can see why people who play this a lot definitely see it as the amalgam of modes. It actually, I mean, that's what it is. To be honest, it feels like it feels like the Black Menagerie. Yeah. If
The Black Menagerie.
because, well, all right. The meta of Black Armory was it revolves around powering up the forges and getting your weapon and these Seraph Tower events are a combination of the open horde-like things going on in Escalation Protocol, but with the tower defense management and battery forge charging of the forges. Because you're chucking batteries at things, and so that's what you have to do in Black Armory to improve the forges. You not me like that. It just sounds like you're not listening to me.
Yeah, I see what you mean though. You have to do like all the various little thingies and like
It just has a lot of moving parts, and you can pick your, you can pick your loot, and there's a huge ass bunker that has upgrades in it, which kind of makes it feel like the sundial. Like, I don't know.
yes. It's a little bit like the sundial. Like the whole thing where you like, toss the
Well,
little
that would be the Black
whatever
Armory
they are.
portion of it.
But it's also like
Yeah, but Black Armory was first, so that would still be Black Armory.
Okay.
Does it dare? You gotta give Black Armory some love. That was underappreciated.
Your opponents are pulling away.
It's so quaint.
Them back.
You know, I guess I didn't play that much of it.
It was fun.
Your enemy can't kill if they're
I found it
dead.
fun. I really liked, well, kind of like when we were doing the Saint 14 things, and we had to run to these little new areas that we'd never seen before. And
Your enemy
I really enjoyed Black Armory because it gave me a bigger appreciation for the world. No, because you had to eventually find the forges where they were located.
defeat is a lesson. Learn it well. Then fight again.
I see.
You know me, my favorite pieces of content or expansions are the ones that do things like unlock a random door that leads you into Zavala's office. You explore the tower and find Banshee's workroom. You know,
Yeah.
so I really appreciated that. It was a lot of fun to have to wiggle around Nessus and then fall through a tunnel. And, oh, there's a forge here. Okay.
Well, I think that's kind of what I like about this. Like, you have to, like, go and find the bunker and be like, oh, shit, this was here the whole time? Or, you know, that's how you're meant to feel, you know? Of course, it was not there the whole time.
I am excited for the moon bunker because I gotta say,
Yeah.
I have to say honestly, as strong as Shadowkeep was, I mean, let's be real, it is absolutely the rise of iron of Destiny 2. One thing I really enjoy is, excuse me. One thing I did enjoy was running around the moon for the duration of its story. But I will be honest, once Shadowkeep was over, I was struggling for reasons to return to the moon. Like there's a bunch of things
same.
I haven't done there. Like I haven't found all the dead ghosts yet. But when put up against all these other planets and the things that are going on and what actually, I was like, I don't know about all this moon shit. About to moon them. No.
Are you about to go
Oh, no.
mooning them?
So I love that one of these bunkers was put on the moon because I could definitely stand to return to the moon and mess around there and see what else it has to offer. Now that I have a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to go to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I am pretty excited about that. I wonder what the one in the moon's gonna look like.
That's what's got me. I
Probably
tried
the
to look.
same. Pretty similar.
Where do you think it's going to be? In the Hellmouth? Or in the Archer's Line?
Maybe Archer's Line would be my guess.
If there's a bunker just sitting in Archer's Line, I'm going to lose it. I'm still cheesing on the fact that you don't spawn into the same place that you do in Destiny 1. Also, can I have a slap to anyone who said that the moon was like recycled or regurgitated content? Listen. All right, you can't do this. You cannot do this, Destiny community. You cannot say in one breath, man, you know, I wish that there was more world building and that we got to keep our stuff, and didn't they say that this was going to be a story told across a whole and it's like, yes. And then when the moon comes back, you're like, oh, copy paste. Like, no, stop. I feel like them bringing the moon back is, you know, a nod towards that kind of world building and continuity. Because when you go to the moon in Shadowkeep, the Skolas's catch is crashed into the moon. The Hellmouth is a little bit different. Like, the effects of what you've done in the game are still reflected on the moon. So, even if it didn't come at launch, they've shown an ability to integrate the new area, to integrate old areas, and still be able to, you know, canonically advance them in the way they need it to be. You know, if they brought back the Cosmodrome, they'd only have to add it to Earth, in addition to the European Dead Zone. And I wouldn't be against returning to the Cosmodrome. There's fertile story ground in a lot of places, areas, that they've never touched. And if the assets are already built, all they'll have to do is expand on it, and then you will have that universe that has, you know, gradually moved along.
Yeah. I would really like to see that.
We went to Mars. We went back to Mars, and we ended up in the Hellas Basin. You know,
We did.
If not anything else, that I felt like that was a good idea. That was a good demonstration of how they can, you know, integrate things from the previous one. I feel, in terms of that world building thing I was just saying, I feel though that if you're gonna genuinely do it, the story threads really need to connect strongly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that Destiny suffers from in general, you know? Like, all the threads are not properly connected. So it's like, well, how do I put it? Like, the world's moving along, but it's doing so in a very isolated way. Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's like, you know, you could tell that, like, the manga had gotten ahead of the anime, and, you know, they just had a bunch of random episodes where, like, you know, somebody's doing their homework, or it's like, yeah, but isn't like, yeah, but isn't like the world about to end? Like, isn't the darkness on its way? Like, literally? Hmm.
You'll find no allies on this battlefield. Fight hard.
Hmm. Right. Hmm. I mean, that's pretty damn. I mean, that's pretty damn, like, efficient. Like, not even the
You've lost the
Hive
lead.
had thought of that, and they used like legit magic and shit. But you know, that would seem kind of like a Hive move. But hey, the Cabal got there first, I guess. True. Well, yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, okay. So, well, in a manner of speaking, that is what
Three
that is what
minutes.
that is what Oryx did to Crota.
Go on.
So, you remember that lore card where, like, where, oh,
I'm gonna avenge you.
where the where the Hive encountered the Vex for the first
Yes.
time? Um,
Yes.
well, I think, didn't Crota open up like a rift into a different reality and ask Crota to prove himself?
Huh? Oh.
He cut a rift into like another like pocket, like timeline or whatever, and asked him to like prove himself because, he got tricked into allowing the Vex into Oryx's world.
Okay. Yeah, touche.
Sabadoon tricked him into that. We found
Yeah.
out.
That might be his fault. I personally was wondering.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so resurrection is kind of taboo, but I feel like they find ways around it, and they do it pretty.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
They do it pretty
That's what I was gonna
routinely,
say. I feel
from what I
like
can tell. They're kind of hypocritical with
yeah.
that stuff.
I feel like if resurrection is verboten, I mean, kind of like, timelines are basically life, are basically decisions.
Only 1 minute left.
Are you still there?
Oh, sorry, my
Hello?
mic went off. I feel like resurrection on its own is verboten, but time travel is
Yes,
a resurrection of your
resurrection.
options.
Right. Yeah, time travel and like, you know,
You've got 30
resurrecting
seconds.
people in a roundabout way seems to be okay.
So as long as you can find the loopholes,
Yeah.
it's the book of loopholes.
Yeah. Well, it's
10
all
seconds.
just, damn. It's all just some kind of logic, isn't it? Sword logic is just the way that they justify what they're doing.
Rise.
No, we almost
Oh,
made it.
man. Nah, we did.
All right. So you were saying.
Okay.
Don't be
Yeah.
discouraged. There can be only one winner. Come back.
But yeah, I mean, the sword logic isn't something. Oh, and once again, we didn't have the right number of people. But like, anyway, yeah. Um, do you want to go to
Sure.
the tower? Okay. So like, yeah. So resurrection by itself seems to be an issue, but the sword logic isn't something that the darkness came up with. It's something that the Hive came up to explain what the darkness was kind of asking of them, you know?
I thought. Oh, so wait. The
So I
worms
feel
didn't
like
come
they,
up with the sword logic. It was the hive themselves.
yeah, I mean, the the books of sorrow are all written by the Hive. So the words that they're using to describe what they're doing are all Hive things. Like the worms. You know what? That's a good question. I don't know if the worms actually used those words. If the worms said the word sword logic. I have to do some research on that. Mhm.
I mean, what we interpret it to be. You know, the Fallen call it the Great Machine, etc., etc.
Mhm.
I call it the Orb of Teetleast, you know? The
Oh, the
Orb of
people.
Teetleast! Yes. That's what it is.
Oh man.
The Orb of Teetleast. I can't. I would have. Side note: how many times do you think Channing Tatum cracked up trying to do that line? How many takes?
Thank the orb
I'm
of
gonna say
people.
there was at least 5 to 10 takes. 'Cause I would have died. Oh no, it's the Orb of Teetleast. Why is that so funny? All right, sorry. Yes, Channing Tatum was Superman. It's hilarious. Movie has a lot of great cameos in it. But yeah, that actually might be a fun discussion for next up. Since we'll be on the moon anyway, we can talk Hive and the
Yeah.
Fundament and the worms.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes. That.
Looks like you're looking
That sounds
into the
fun.
sky. It looks like.
Yeah, there's something wrong with my controller. It keeps doing that.
So, like last episode, it sounds like you may have drift. You may have to actually
Yeah.
admit that you dropped your controller.
Maybe I dropped it.
And
I don't know. I don't remember
very
dropping
few
it.
things will give your controller drift. However, hopefully, well, all right. Hopefully you got the warranty for that crab. If you did not, we'll figure it out. But it does sound like you might have a bit of drift there.
Don't remember.
boo. You not remember? Where are you? Well, there's a reason I brought us to the annex. One, so you could hit up Benedict if you needed something. I don't think so, because I picked up those bounties for you. And two, because the Black Armory is down here. So maybe if the quest isn't there, maybe you can pick up something from Ada. Oh, and, you know, as we do, we played some Crucible. I think we have a clan engram waiting for us.
I think so.
So birds, stones, etc. Just follow the shoulders.
Ada.
Anything you need.
So, anything?
Ooh. I can pick up bounties
Sweet.
and
Welcome, Guardian.
weapon
You
frames.
can wait. You can pick up the
but
frames.
I need,
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet.
but I need ballistic
Oh.
gloves.
Okay. Well, we'll pick a weapon.
Which I'm not sure how to get.
the black.
Oh wait, there's some bunch of quests right here.
All right. This is sounding better and better by the moment. Also, you can get ballistics logs from the Black Armory weeklies.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. And then there's a bunch of quests here. I can grab a mysterious
Until
box.
next time.
I can do a butterfly's grace. And I can do the giant. I should just pick all these up, right? There's 3 of them. Hello?
Take us a little bit of time.
Admire
I'm still
with your
working on that one,
eyes.
believe it or not. I think that's for the Izzyanagi's Burden. However, something about a butterfly, that sounds like Le Monarch. And I think...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back in my day. Actually, I think you saw the footage of that, because I think I put that up on the internet. When I got Le Monarch. It was that... what was it? It was that scene when I did Thunder Crash into the Hydra, and then hit it with a grenade. And when I fell into the abyss. Le Monarch dropped on the screen. Yes! It used to be a
Okay.
random drop from the Izyanami Forge. Same thing with Jotun. Jotun used to be a random drop from the Berjusia Forge. But there should be... She should... Blah. Let me know when you pick up her quests. I went to Benedict, and Benedict was actually the one carrying the Jotun quest. Oh my god, Jotun. You haven't lived until you've used Jotun, dear.
The Black Armory believes not in the traveler or its
It's so much fun.
but in
Especially in PvE. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Anytime I get a weapon bounty. Anytime I get a weapon bounty that says, oh, defeat enemies with a fusion rifle. I'm like, yes! Yeah!
Titan.
Yeah! Yeet!
I don't need your broad shoulders knocking
Yeah!
around.
Yeet! Yeah! Yeah! Sneak! Yeah!
Uh-oh. Oh, you're feeding the pigeons?
We still have good feathers. And, you know. It's wholesome. They will all...
I'm gonna feed the pigeons.
Well, snoots. I'm sorry. I could not gain you 40 levels in a week.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. I mean,
We got
We
a lot of
tried.
the things. That's why we don't. That's why I don't. I
Yeah.
definitely don't want you to have a repeat of that this season. I feel like you should unlock the things. You know, we'll strategize. Stick with me, and we will get it all together. Actually, better with the two of us.
okay.
It's pretty
Okay.
hard to do alone.
Chit chat. You and
Easier with the nose.
you just never.
I just
quit,
never
do you?
quit like Lucas's
Without
neck
Indeed.
at
a
launch.
traveler. And now half of what I hear in the streets is how much you and your clan are making a difference. That's why I started this whole
Yup.
damn thing in the first place.
Lucas's neck was real at
The
launch.
Vanguard to lead
Y'all
the way.
can't patch.
It's time for a
Listen,
change.
I unlocked this
Guardians
chest
of
armor
you
for
are
the
making it
Hunter
happen.
week 1.
No pressure.
Y'all could patch Lucas in a hurry. We had the amazing vibrating Falcon at launch, and y'all fixed that one. But I can't get my good armors?
So
Bungie.
you Guardians are all about
Seems like
Bungie, I am
not.
offended. I want the
Warlocks,
vibrating bird.
Titans,
That was the
Red
funniest thing
Orbit,
that ever happened to
Iron
Destiny.
Banner. I don't know how you keep track of it all.
My f-
Point is,
What the
you
fuck?
understand.
Oh, that
It was
so funny.
vibrating. Is it like
Inspire them. You're in a clan. You know what I'm talking
the funniest thing in the world?
about. Careful out there.
Hawthorne is standing there trying to look all stoic and serious, and behind her, her bird is just freaking out. Easily my favorite part of the Red War. 10 out of 10.
Where it's like,
Dancing like Mike Reed.
like that's
Like,
right.
and I have birds. I have birds. That is not an unusual bird action. They actually do that. Like, y'all should have left that in there.
They just do the head
See,
bobbing.
Mike Reed. Lucas was just... I think he was head bobbing to bachata.
What cipher is this?
Oh jeez.
It's amazing. Did they just shit on my engram? Can the game really do that? Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I got an engram that was 982, and when I got to Rahul, it was 979. Rahul, I feel boozled.
Hmm. Interesting. You feel boozled.
Dangerous times, Guardian.
Oh.
A lot of bounties today, though. Good stuff.
No substitute for a full magazine.
Got a lot of bounties, though.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Man. This year's solar. This year. Excuse me. This season's exotic is pretty. It's pretty huge. That's no slouch of an objective you gotta do.
Oh yeah,
Good
it's
match.
like
You gotta get like the guardian kills. This may be a good reason to try Nightfall the Ordeal above Adept or hero. No, above Hero. It does say Legend or Master tier ordeals grant you a good amount of progress. Crucible wins, Gambit wins, and Legend or Master tier blah blah blah. But it's okay. It is okay because we will be on, won't we? I mean, granted,
we will.
Maybe hesitate before you, make sure it's safe for work because we will be mooning everything. Sorry, I had to say it. But yeah, I will be excited to moon out once more. Maybe we can look for some ghosts.
Oh yeah, I like that. I don't have any of
Me either.
those.
Me and I actually looked for a bit. I was like, I don't know. But all that is all that as a prerequisite. I hope you got some good bounties going. We could.
I did. I got some weapons, some bounties. You know, I got some of my Rasputin bounties. I got some of my Banshee bounties. So yeah, that was good.
I am ready for this next bunker. Like, I finished the bunker, huh? Okay, fine. I'm gonna keep doing this because them upgrades are real.
I must admit, Guardian,
If you want, while we're doing this, I can give you I'll tell you the order I upgraded them in. I saw it was either Paul Tassi, I think he kind of did the same thing, which was I thought was crazy helpful.
Are you ready?
Like he kind of put up a screenshot and showed his trajectory, like the path that he would have taken. I think that's really useful. Well, yeah, you know. It's like powering up your artifact, except without the do-over. Certain perks are definitely better early on.
Cool.
You know, because they'll reduce the cost of other things or make more war mine bits for you. You know, so overall, there's certain ones you want to do first. Unfortunately, I read his article in hindsight. Emphasis on the hind. But for the most part, it's fun. It was okay. It was a little bit crab, but mark my words, I'm gonna kick the season in the what?
In the cheeks.
That's very PC of you. Thank you.
In the tuchus.
That too. Let's get the Orthodox in on it too. In the tuchus. Yes. In the posterio. That means you're kicking both cheeks. I see.
Oh, and you kicked both of them. I see.
But all right. So I think before we close the door on today's tower excursion, do you have any hopeful expectations for this week? We've got Iron Banana and a Moon Bunker hitting at the same time. Do you think this week, you think anything major is going to go down in the season of the worthiness? Like tomorrow?
I mean, I'm interested to see like what the Moon Bunker looks like.
Oh, but other than that,
And I'm wondering what. And I'm wondering what kind of, banana we get this time around. It'll be the first banana. Oh, it would be cool if they had, if there was new Iron Banner armor. That would be good.
I agree. Definitely.
Because, last season they just recycled that samurai looking armor. Ugh, please stop with Iron Truage.
I like Iron Truage, okay? but it is absolutely the only set of armor to have endured through all three armor iterations. I literally have a default Iron Truage, a Armor 2.0 mods Iron Truage, and now whatever this energy system is, Voodoo. No. If I see one more horn, we riot.
Although I think what they will most likely do is what is that? The like the Shadowkeep
The Iron Will stuff?
armor. Yeah, I feel like they'll just bring that back with the
Oh god,
higher
I hope not.
levels.
I will,
I feel like that's
I'll
what
be
they
so
might
mad
do.
if they do that. I don't know, cause you're planting ideas in my head.
I hope
I
I'm
hope
wrong.
you're wrong too. I want
Yeah.
the,
We're gonna.
I want something cool looking, man. Stop putting it all in
Me
the Eververse.
too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, to that effect, I gotta agree. One of the most fun things about Iron Banner is absolutely what you unlock from it. And I feel like Bungie may have to just bite the bullet a little bit and make some activities harder and slightly more inaccessible. Because I do have to agree with that one guy. He said, I'm unlocking stuff and I'm getting weapons and everything, but the way the original game was shaped, if you were above level 26, that's what it meant. You did the raid. Other people were not getting to that level because the drops weren't high enough anywhere else but the raid. So when you saw that person with a high power, it was like, oh wow, I might want to roll with this guy. Digital clout instantly. And I think if they want to keep that status, that might be a necessary move. To just, you know what I mean? Just make it something special that you need to be a level to do. Make it drop weapons that only come from this one place, so that when you use them, or when you're wearing that piece of armor, it doesn't just remind you of something, but it tells other Guardians a story. I have to say that was definitely a thing. What was the Dark? What was the second expansion called in Destiny 1? The Wrath of Crota, or the Wrath of Crab, the Crab of Rhoda.
The second
The first one.
expansion.
Dark of the Moon.
The Dark Below.
Below the Darkness. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So yeah, like in the Dark Below, you could run around the tower. Sure. You could see anyone. Sure. You can inspect whoever you want. It is the design of the game. Wouldn't change it for the world. But when you saw somebody run past you with that full hive-looking armor on, you didn't have to hit Y on that person. You knew. He must have done the raid. Okay, sir. Can you do a strike with me? I don't want to die. It's like walking around with an S on your chest. So,
Yeah.
I think tying items back to exclusively to events would make you feel awesome as a player, as a Guardian.
The Guardian. Okay.
So I'm personally hoping for that. I'm hoping for just more specialized gear. Like I like the Seraph weapons. That's definitely, it's definitely a good one. But anybody can get these. Give me a really good one. That's all. I want drops that allude to my status. And hopefully this new set of Iron Banner armor does that.
Hi there.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong and that we got brand new armor. That looks cool.
I hope so, because I don't think... Yeah. I'm going to cross my fingers on that one.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alrighty.
SS Snoot. I think we can conclude tonight's episode of the Expert Playlist. Tomorrow,
Indeed.
we're going streaking. The world of Destiny 2
We
will be
are?
mooned. What? Oh, I meant in the world of Destiny. Yeah, if you've ever wanted to know what it's like for Rasputin to moon you,
Alright.
well,
Underway.
11 hours from now, we're gonna find out. You have fun tonight?
Yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed that.
Alright. I'm gonna run around as your hunter for a bit, maybe. See what I can do. You wanna close out?
Okay.
People?
Yes,
We'll run
yes,
some-
yes, yes. Peeps should definitely check us out on the Inferno Penguins Twitter and on the Facebooks and on the Instagrams and on the YouTubes. Definitely on the InfernoPenguins.com.
Yes. You heard the lady.
Mm.
With all of that having been said, my fellow guardians, I am the expert crab. With me, as always, is a vampire crab.
Yeah.
And we will see you. Good night, fellow guardians.
Good night.
Where are you? Where the heck are you?
Tower.
I know you're in the tower.
Tower.
You know what? Where in the I'm gonna... Can't take this. What are you even... What the f...
Yes, Guardian, by all means. Let's get started.
No, not the thing... No! The beehive! Not the bees! Not the bees!
What?
My eyes!
Um,
They're in my eyes!
are you okay?
Ah!
Oh, they're in your
Get them
eye.
off me! Oh, God, they're on my shoulder!
They're in my
They're on my
eye.
shoulder!
What? Now they're in your
Yeah,
shoulder.
get it off my shoulder!
There's some strange bees. Oh, is that what that is? Some kind of bee repellent?
I'm trying to get them
thing?
off me. They're in my shoulder.
They're in your
Yeah,
shoulder.
they got in under the armor.